The oil-rich Bakassi Peninsula, located along the border lines between Cameroon and Nigeria, is mostly inhabited by Nigerians. Idabato subdivision in Bakassi is the first to be hit by this new cholera outbreak. The South West Regional Delegation of Public Health has responded to the distress signal, "We go on the trails of cholera" in Idabato.
We came down to Idabato, myself and the entire emergency response team, upon the reception of a distress signal from our team in the Bakassi Health District that made a mission of a suspected 12 suspected cases of cholera with 2 deaths. So at our level, we held a series of crisis meetings, made the necessary contacts with the administrative authorities and the Ministry of Health and our partners, and we finally decided to come here today for a fact-finding mission in order to assess the reality on the ground and to take immediate action to contain the epidemic.
Government don't say we can give you free medicine, but we for check you, they'll give you the medicine for free. You don't hear no? Not be something where you go feel say you go get money. No 1 naira, no 1 franc. All things are free. For children. And for all man.
Any man we get belay the worry
where the vomit, where they go toilet, they see water. Plenty time. Now why that will come? Who can help all man?
For some reason, the people of Idabato are hesitant to use hospital services put at their disposal here in Idabato by the state.
The population here is made up of Nigerians, essentially. If we have a population of about 40,000, they are mostly Nigerians. And these Nigerians are illiterate Nigerians. So they are not welcoming to any change. That's the first thing we have to know. Since my coming to this place, we have been carrying out sensitization campaign in all the churches. Every month we have a meeting with all the chiefs, the community leaders, youth leaders, women leaders, opinion leaders, to educate them on the necessity of the importance of using government services. One of them is the hospital. They don't come to the hospital. It's a big cry. The doctor is here permanently, but the patients are not there. The schools, they don't come to school. It's a big fight. When you see children, I don't know whether you notice, as we're moving, children were running. When they see me, they run away. That is it. That's how it has always been.
For most inhabitants here in Idabato, the whole cholera story, as they perceive it, is spiritual and cannot be handled medically. They believe it has to do with witchcraft.
Wait, before 5 minutes, the thing don't knock you for ground. You don't start. If person not rush you, not to die.
Yeah, that's what they talk say. We dey together. Yes. That's what they talk say. When some person start shit, the next thing na hospital.
For the first time when you start shit, you don't go know whether you know.
See, if you go that shit like this, only one time you will be water. Shit will not be inside. Before you know your leg, you go pieces as if you are a widow that you cannot even walk again. Yes, hospital is good with us. Hospital is good. People like there's people that if they give drugs, the drugs will not go hold them, they will still die. They will take them go. Yesterday was 4, today was 2. This thing is not physical something, now spiritual things. So let our chief stand up and do something about it.
The administration, accompanied by the medics, use persuasion and some force to ensure that sick patients are taken to the hospital and not to church, as it is widely the case here.
We are not coming here to arrest anybody. We want to solve the situation. Because when they pray, they give you money. Go and bring them.
Give me.
Madam, get up. To the hospital. And if you tell me, I will put you in a cell.
The child was actually taken from a church because the administrative authorities had to intervene. The pastor had said that they had treated the child, that God had healed the child, and the child is sent home. But instead of helping us cooperate, get the cases out, treat them, they are trying to hide the cases. So this case is going to the hospital immediately for medical attention so that we can treat this child and make sure this child gets well. And this is a situation where we need to put under control, otherwise things can easily go really bad.
The whole strategy seems to be working. This woman is seemingly happy she took her baby to the hospital as instructed.
She's fine.
She's feeling fine now. Yes. Yeah. How are you feeling?
I started feeling fine. I feel my child in the hospital.
Many more follow suit in relative excitement.
Where you take and go now? How they wait till they happen for Peking?
In the street, in the vomit.
So since when?
2 days.
Since 2 days, he done the shit, he done the vomit.
So I don't go buy medicine, I carry give am. So he ain't change small. This thing come again. So I think come again now. So I got the use drugs again.
Yes.
Give am.
Yes.
As I come, I say make we come hospital. That's why we are the go so.
People today, 2 people.
2 people. They don't carry and go around. As doctor, when they good, they not there yet. So that's why they watch them. One don't die. If you mean one, in the road now. So as if you say good doctor there here now, for the carry, but good doctor no day.
Yes.
That is why they carry, they go around.
The Lone Health Center in the subdivision has barely 4 working beds to host a population of over 4,000 people.
Currently, we are at the Idabato Integrated Health Center, which of course is harboring most of the cases of cholera that have been identified here. And behind me, of course, you see cartons of medical produce that will be used, of course, to take care of these infected patients, these cholera-infected patients. Fortunately, we can say that the South West Regional Health Services have intervened soon enough to be able to curb the situation, which was gradually going out of hand here. And of course, it is not out of place to note that the Idabato Integrated Health Center is not in the best shape. Here, we notice that it is a hospital that is capable of hosting or having about 30 beds, but currently, right now, the hospital has just barely 4 functional beds. And of course, this particular aspect is just one of the so many issues that this particular health center is facing here.
Yeah, you can use a light microscope here with alternative source, just that is not adapted for it. Because when they constructed the hospital as if it was going to use light, so they brought many things that were electrical. There is a football pool here. That pole was actually in the middle of the field. The water has removed the field until it come to this point. The last tides that we had, high tides that we had, they entered the hospital was flooded, and then the banks of the seashore has shifted about 3 meters. That means in the past year.
In 1 year?
Yes, in 1 year.
Because in about 3 years,
this also be water.
We had land up to about a kilometer into the sea. Actually, where the beef is not people now, there were houses there.
So
the sea is really encroaching.
Yes, it's constantly eroding the land.
So very soon, this structure will not even be there.
This hospital was built 10 years ago, and generally in the initial construction plan it was supposed to be suspended.
As we go around the locality, it gets quite obvious. The poor hygienic conditions within which the people of Idabato live certainly accounts for this recent cholera outbreak in the locality.
The hygienic condition here is very poor. We lack toilets, potable water, even hospital equipped to be well equipped. There's no hospital. And so people defecate beside this, they see a lot under the houses everywhere. And so it makes the place not good to stay.
I came because of the cholera outbreak, and I came to reinforce Dr. Jerry, who is always on ground, and the situation is under control. I assure the population that due to the sensitization that we have passed around, cholera is not difficult to be treated. It's just good to have early diagnosis, early detection of cholera. And anyone that's having vomiting and watery stool, that's diarrhea, should rush to the hospital, the nearest hospital. Anybody that have watery diarrhea above 5 years, even below 5 years, but mostly the case definition is above 5 years, should rush to the nearest health center.
So people generally have the tendency to stay with their cases in their houses because they prefer to go to churches, just like you saw. There was a case that was actually in church because they believe that it was actually witchcraft. December is approaching. Maybe somebody has brought this illness into the community. So they will go to the churches, they will go to the drug sellers around who are usually the immediate contact with the population and so on. Because of that, that was what had a delay for them to come to the hospital. But with the team, the build up, the team that is being built up, the mount up of every platform that is being taken into consideration to manage the situation, we believe that the situation will be under control. What we would like to note is that the hygienic condition of the place is a call for concern. There are no toilets, no public toilets for the communities, no potable water for the communities, and these are all factors that will make the management of the situation even more difficult at the level of the community. Because when cases will be treated in the hospital, we don't know how they will be doing back in the communities. So we are actually sending a strong call that if the government will see into it that this population have potable drinking water, a good hygienic conditions for their toilets to be constructed, it will go a long way to curb the situation or the spread of this current crisis that we are having.
We live with the hope that more help will come to the people of Idabato soon.